What's up everybody, it's me ThomasTubeHD and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about some more updates on all of the factions and countries of the Dream SMP. Now before we get started on talking stuff, I want to tell some new people that there are already 2 Dream SMP map videos that covers the same topic as this video. So watch the previous videos first before this one to get the context on what we are going to talk about today. Also, we got good news about the map of the Dream SMP. So Eric, the king of the SMP in the lore and also the creator of the map, actually made an even bigger map but a more modern version. Although it messed up my last maps a lot after I just updated them, it's still just fantastic stuff. So thanks Eric. And also, here's a quick recap on events that has happened in the last few months. So after the final disconfrontation happened on the 20th of January, Dream is then locked up in the Pandora's Vault, the Dream SMP's largest and most secure prison. And a day later, Tubbo, the former president of Lamamberg, heads back to Snowchester and declares independence. Fast forward a bit and a lot of countries and factions have been disbanded, abandoned or burned to the ground, and a lot of SMP members are starting to join some alliances and creating new countries/factions. Then Tommy got murdered and then came back to life by Dream, which brings us to the present day, which since the disconfrontation has been the longest lasting peace on the Dream SMP since before the After Tommy period. And now let me show you the first map before the new map was shown on Twitter. Not much change though. But here is the new and second updated map. Now the first thing you would see on the new map is that it has expanded further west and there are 2 pieces in the top left that are not filled in. And that's because when I got news of this, Eric still hasn't filled in the missing spots. And second is that you can see some updates to the map as well. And there are evidence of this, like for example the prison or even the chessboard. And I also moved all the important stuff on the map to the top for convenience. Alright, so I'm just going to start to talk about the smaller factions and countries first before we get to the big ones. So with that out of the way, let's get talking. So first of all, near the Lamamberg Peninsula, Manifold Land, Little Penis Land, and El Rapids are gone and abandoned due to Manifold Land got burnt to the ground by Jack Manifold, Little Penis Land being abandoned by its leader, Connie Eats Pants. And our Rapids disbanded fully after the original citizens and leaders abandoned it after a month since the destruction of Lamamberg. And after it's disbanded, Carl moved out his library. But you can't quite see El Rapids man-made mountain on the map because it got destroyed by Quackity during his return to the Dream SMP. Meanwhile, Boomerville is still there after months of crazy events, but now it's possibly have been abandoned as well. And also, if we look back up at the middle of the map, we can now see Rutabagville on the map, and its border colors are red because it's been abandoned and forgotten. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, Pogtopia is still abandoned but has been visited a lot recently. And while we're here, let's talk about a new nation. So if we look back up and to the left of the map, we can see a new unrecognized nation created. And this is KinokoKingdom, which is formed by former citizens of our Rapids, Carl Jacobs, George Not Found, and Satnap as a safe place from any drama in the rest of the SMP. Although you can't see all of KinokoKingdom's territories on the map, its territories includes Carl's library, the fields of flowers nearby, Unix X treehouse, and a bunch of structures full G built for the kingdom. And that is all of the small factions and countries updates that has been talked about. And now let's get to the big nations, factions, and alliances. Snowchester. This independent nation, underground research center and colony got huge updates to it because we can actually see it now on the top right corner of the map. Its territory is ginormous. It's so large that it is 3 times bigger than the Pandora's Vault, the largest building on the SMP. About 2 Lamambergs big, or 5 times bigger than Punce's house and property together, the person who owned the most land personally on the Dream SMP. And again, to put it in another way, it has the second largest recognized territories on the Dream SMP. Its territories includes the islands it's built on, the buildings I mentioned before and some new ones that are fully part of it, and the Snowchester Dream SMP highway / human railgun. Although it does have a wall that goes around the main island, which would cut the territory shown on the map half of its size, but more buildings are planned to be built, and it owns a lot of territorial waters on the SMP surrounding the islands as well. So for now, these are the borders of the Snowchester Federation. Its exclave is expanded to include the B&B Hotel, but Tommy's Enterprise is not part of it anymore. And okay, that's the update of Snowchester. Let's now move on to another country, and also an alliance, the Badlands and the Eggpire. The Badlands. This nation has its recognized territories updated, which includes now the Pandora's Vault prison, which by the way kinda surprised me on how huge the prison actually is. And you could see Osandu's name is over the prison, but I'll tell you that later. And there are some updates made to the unrecognized territories of the Badlands. And yeah, by this point, they probably own the most unrecognized territories on the whole Dream SMP. Now let's move on to the Eggpire. Now before we get started talking on the Eggpire, we got to talk about some new important stuff. So if we look at the top of the map, there are these dark red lines that indicate Eggpire Crimson Vine territorial control. What that means is that any dark red lines you see on the map means that it's covered / controlled by the Eggpire's vines, like the vines you literally see when a SMP member passes by while walking along the Prime Path. And there are so much of it everywhere that it stretches from the community house and portal to the canyon. Also, we got more land added to the Eggpire. They are the egg, which I indicated incorrectly where it is in the last map, and Ponk, who is now fully corrupted by the egg and joined the Eggpire. So we have added the Cube Casino and Lemon City into the Eggpire's territory, and their border colors are the same as Pun's. And in the future, we might have Hannah X Rose or even Purple join the Eggpire if they are also fully corrupted. But for now, Hannah got her roses drained of its color, who is also either an enemy or a future member of the Eggpire, and Purple, who is still not quite active in the Dream SMP, is a mercenary to the Eggpire for now. And yeah, that is pretty much it, and let's move on to another faction and alliance, the Anarchist Syndicate and the Arctic Anarchist Commune. So much like the Eggpire, the Anarchist Syndicate also expanded to include more members, and that member is Nikki Niachu. Although we can't see her territory because 1, it is underground, and 2, far out of reach of the map, her territory is just another Pogtopia, an underground city exclave, and also her city is not only underground, it's right under KinokoKingdom, and we might see Nikki also joining KinokoKingdom in the future, much like old Rutabagville. Okay, that's the Syndicate. Let's now talk about the Arctic Anarchist Commune next. So now it has more territory, and now the Arctic Anarchist Commune has the second largest unrecognized territories. So that's pretty cool. However, if you look at the Arctic Anarchist Commune, Cat and Puffy, Awesome Dude, KinokoKingdom, and the Greater Dream SMP's name, you can see a new color for a new alliance. And this alliance is the Pro-Omelette Alliance, which is an alliance created by Cat and Puffy and is joined by the Arctic Anarchist Commune, Carl Jacobs of KinokoKingdom, Osandu of non-Eggpire Badlands, and Eret, the king of the Greater Dream SMP, to fight back against the Eggpire and turn the Crimson Egg into an omelette. This alliance is as big as the Eggpire and the Anarchist Syndicate together, but it's not confirmed if Carl, Eret, or Osandu is part of this alliance. But still good progress is made by Puffy into making the server turn their swords towards the Eggpire. And also, Osandu's prison is split off the rest of the Badlands recognized territories, because although he is also part of the Eggpire, he is playing both sides, and is the only Badlands member that is part of Pro-Omelette, and it might be clear to see that the Badlands will split under lines like this soon in the future if relations are not restored. But speaking of alliances, we got another new alliance, and this is the Plan to Kill Dream Alliance, which is an unrecognized alliance created by Tommy after he is released from the prison, and seeing that Dream is going to break out of prison with the help of Wilbur, created this alliance, which also includes Tubbo of the Snowchester Federation and rebel of the Arctic Anarchist Commune. Tommy's land, including his enterprise, and also the Big Inn and Hotel are part of this alliance's territory. This alliance's color is the same as Dream's Minecraft skin color. And finally, always, there is the Greater Dream SMP, who has land expanded very far west as we can see on the map, and in its main parts are getting covered by the Eggpire's crimson egg vines. And there are many members or citizens of the Greater Dream SMP that are starting to leave the nation, but the Greater Dream SMP still has the largest amount of territory on the Dream SMP. But with Dream in prison, it has been falling behind Snowchester, the Anarchist Syndicate, and the Eggpire in military power. So before we end the video, I want to clean some stuff up on how territories are counted to be part of a faction, a country, or alliance. So my thought of this is that when a SMP member becomes part of some faction, country, or alliance, is that the buildings they actively uses becomes part of that faction, country, or alliance. So for example, when Wilbur created Lamamberg along with Tommy, his caravan, the land he built around with a wall, and Tommy's enterprise becomes part of Lamamberg. And if the faction or country is disbanded, the land becomes part of the neutral land of the Dream SMP, which is not a faction nor a country, but just unclaimed land, and this description applies to Gloucestershire. However, if Gloucestershire is on the map, then it will be part of the Greater Dream SMP, because although it is unclaimed land, after it got blown up, any land on the map that is not claimed will be part of the Greater Dream SMP, which is owned by the king of the SMP and leader of the nation. Which brings us on what Greater Dream SMP owns. So picture yourself that you are painting a wall. The empty wall is the unclaimed land and is not covered on the map, and the paint is the area where the map covered over. So if you paint over the empty wall with the paint, it will become part of the Greater Dream SMP, because it is unclaimed land on the map. Now let's talk about more of the Alliance tab. So the reason why I label SMP members' buildings as part of the Alliance is because it's like when joining a country or a faction. When a SMP member becomes part of an alliance, their structures they actively uses becomes part of that alliance. So although that SMP member is part of that alliance, the border color being red means that they are still part of the country or faction they joined before joining the alliance they just joined. And that is another Dream SMP Maps video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you click on the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel if you like my videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.